Hey guys, it's me, Liv. I hope everyone is doing okay out there. So, please forgive my lovely hands. As you can see, finally, 2 of my nails are broken off, which is not really surprising to me, as the nail salons have been closed and I haven't had the opportunity to go, and probably won't for quite some time. So, anyway, today I want to bring you something a little bit different. I have a lot of stuff, and there's things I've actually been wondering myself, and if you are new to Copic markers, alcohol markers, whether it be Spectrum Noir, I know there's Tri-Blends and there's Copics, of course, or any other type of art markers that are alcohol based out there. You're probably wondering, what paper do I use? Now, you do need to buy paper that is specific for art markers in order to make sure they don't bleed through the back and ideally have bleeding on the sides. And so today I'm bringing you 3 that I want to try out, show you a little bit comparison about them. So the first one is this Accent Opaque digital paper. So this is a new paper to me. I had watched another video about it and talking about how cost effective it is. So let me bring out the actual packet. So I got this whole thing of paper. It is 100-pound white paper. And I believe it was only $14. So that is great because there is, let me see, 200 sheets in here. So it's very, very, very cost effective. But I haven't tried it yet. So figured this would be a good video to give that a shot. One, I would say, even if I don't get to use it for Copic markers, it's a great thickness for card bases. I really like the sturdiness of it. The next is my usual go-to, which is the Spectrum Noir papers. This was selling at the AC Moore. Now, the AC Moores by me have all closed, but one of the reasons, of course, I bought this is because I could just run to the store and grab it. So before they closed, I grabbed like 8 packs. So I think I'm good for Spectrum Noirs for a while. But as you can see, they usually come in a pack of 20, and I paid $7 for them. Of course, I could use a coupon and bring it down a little bit, but that was the normal price. So as you can see, these Accent Opaque Digital is definitely already worth the price if I was paying $14 for 200 and paying $7 for 20. And then the final one came by recommendation because I see it all there. But again, another paper I have not tried. Some people love this XPress It blending card. Again, it does say specifically designed for use with alcohol markers. So that is its base. So, hey guys, it's me, Liv. I hope everyone is doing okay out there. So, forgive me and my lovely hands. 2 of my nails finally broke off. I knew it was going to be inevitable since the nail salons are all closed in my area. So I haven't been able to get a refill. And as you can see, there's a lot of growth since the last time I had these filled in. But anyway, today I wanted to bring you a comparison video of what papers to use with Copic markers. I'm going to do this one and do another set as well because I have 3 other types of papers that you can use. This is often a question for people who are early on to using Copic markers as to what paper should be used. Now, this is good for any alcohol-based marker. So you could be talking about the ones that Crafter's Companion makes or any of the other ones that are out there on the market. I do use Copic, so that's what I generally refer to. But these are specific papers for alcohol-based markers. So let's get started. Today I'm going to go over 3 different ones, which are, the first one is this Accent Opaque. I did see this on a video, got this batch from Amazon, and it is 100 pounds. So it's a nice thick paper. Now, I'm going to show you the original package, just so you get a sense. This is the original package. So this is a pack of 200 papers. And it has a really nice thickness to it, which is one of the things I like. So even if this doesn't end up working out for me as an alcohol-based marker, because this is going to be the first time I try it, it is great for card bases. The next is the Spectrum Noir alcohol markers. So that was this package. Used to pick these up all the time over at AC Moore, which unfortunately has closed by me. And then the final is the XPress It blending card paper. So, the first thing you're going to see is value. This cost me $14. This cost me $7. This cost me about $12. So this one has 25 sheets. This one has 20 sheets. This one has 200. So for those thrift shoppers out there, I'm going to say this may be the way to go, but let's see how it works. The next thing to look at is, depending on how you craft, how you like the brightness of your paper. Some people really like bright paper, and some don't matter to me. It's not a huge difference, but, and I hope you can see it because with the lighting that I have, but if I was to put these three together, this one is definitely the brightest out of all of them, of the paper. I would definitely say that. It has a very bright white surface. This is probably the darkest of them, and this is the second runner-up in regards to that. For thickness, this one is definitely the thicker. I would say out of the three, and even in this order, this is the thickest. This is a little bit thicker. This is actually the lightest of all. So this one actually fascinates me a little bit because it feels so thin. I do worry, is my alcohol going to go through it? So let's give this a shot. I'm just going to take out this lovely pad because I'm not really sure where I hid my stamp positioner, so this will work for this project. So I'm actually going to turn it over because if I can, I would definitely actually like to use this in a project. So I'm going to use one of the newer stamps that I got, and we're going to go ahead and do this for all of them actually, because I can definitely envision using this multiple times. And as you can see, I already got poor little beads stuck to it. So, and this one's called Moshi Party Girl. It is a new line over at Stamping Bella. As many of you may know from me, I am definitely partial to rubber stamps over clear stamps. I just feel I get a much better coverage with them. So let me get this out. And most of the time when I stamp, I use Memento, Tuxedo Black. May not be everyone's favorite out there, but it's a classic for me. Works very well. Making sure she's all stamped up, and I'm going to turn it just to make it a little bit easier for me. So there is the first one on the Accent Opaque. Stamps pretty good. Nice crisp image, can't complain about that. Next is going to be, and I'm going to try to keep them in the order that I showed you guys, the Spectrum Noir alcohol inks. And I just realized I placed my stamp a little bit crooked, so let me just fix that. I'm just going to do it up because I did the other ones like that, though. Next time I might use the stamp the long way. So there's that one. And then the final is the Express paper. So let's line them all up. See if you can see any difference on any of them. Now, so far, it's really hard when I just stamp in black ink because I always wonder, did I do pressure difference or anything like that? But the one that stands out the most crisp to me seems to be my Spectrum Noir. That is my go-to again, as I've mentioned before. But they all look pretty good overall when I stamped them, so I can't complain about that at all. This one's a little bit lighter. I don't know if you guys can really tell than the other ones. So I'm not going to do the whole image here because that would be way too long of a video. But I'm just going to pick, let's say, the shirt. Just so I can do that here. Grab my markers out. I'm going to do more of a pinky color, and I'm going to be using these colors: RV21, RV23, 25, and 29. So when I do close, I do tend to go dark to light. Really just depends on how you like to color, but it is what I generally tend to do. Now on to the R25. Oh. I'm going to go more quick because my goal here is not so much to have perfect coloring, but just to kind of see how the colors do on these papers. And finally, we're going to use RV21. Now, yes, this is a very bright shirt. So there is shirt number 1 on the Accent Opaque Digital. So one, you don't see that it bleeds all the way out, which is good. I'm not having it here. And it is staying within the ink lines for the majority of it, which is good. Don't want to see the ink start spreading out. So let's try this on my Spectrum Noir. Oh, wrong side. And I'm sorry for all the turning. It's just I'm trying to get as much on camera as possible, but then sometimes it makes it hard for me to see what I'm doing. And finally, the last color. Then finally, the XPress It paper. I'm going to do that shirt again. Again, like I said, I tend to dark to light is just how I do it. So one thing you may notice that I'm doing is that you actually want to, most of the time, go into your other color and try to bring the color out a little bit so that it blends together well. It's not just start coloring here and start coloring here. You actually want to kind of pull it so that there's more of a gradation. Is that the word I'm looking for here? When it comes to the colors, and helps them kind of come together instead of look like one color here, one color there. So this flickering out motion tends to help get the colors to blend more. So just a tip if you're a little bit new to using them. So, there are my shirts. So let's take a closer look. And I'm going to bring you guys just a little bit closer here. So, what do you think? I have to say, one, they all did blend pretty nicely. I have no concerns really with that. I feel like this one, the color did not, and for lack of a better term, the color kind of soaked into the paper more. So it didn't kind of sit on top. So there wasn't that level of brightness, which I think you can kind of tell what I'm saying on this one. How it did that. How it more sits on top so you can see the color more. I feel like it's soaked in more. Now this one, and I know some people love this. Right now I'm going to tell you it's not going to be my favorite. One, I can see the color bleeding, and I'm going to bring it really close. Can you see that? So you did not, I did not see that with really any of my other cards. you look here, there's really no bleeding out, either on the top or the bottom. But already on this one, there's bleeding out here and there's bleeding out here. So I will use that XPress It blending card, but probably actually not for my Copics. I might use it more for something else. You don't see a lot of bleeding here. I think that was a mistake that I made. But if you look, and I'm going to bring it closer here as well, don't see it popping out here. Don't see it going in there. So, though I would say that part of it could be that I noticed that a lot of this liquid, the alcohol, sits on top. So you may not need as much as you would need with, in terms of color, as you would need with that. Now, what you see me doing is actually just fixing them. I'm using my cordless blender and kind of pushing it back in so that it's not all out. But I would definitely say this is bleeding more than I'd like. So true, I may have to work with this paper a little bit, but I can see the bleed and that does not amuse me. Let's see through the back. None of it bled out. But I think you can really see what I'm saying back here, is that this almost seems to seep into the paper, and this one not so much so. It really sits more on top of the front side, which makes the color pop out more here. And same with this one. But you could even see it blending out on the back side. So, not going to be my favorite. I'll tell you that right now. Usable, but not going to be my favorite. So, again, if you're looking for some cost-effective paper, you can make a beautiful picture out of this. I don't see that this is really going to be a problem making it look nice. As you get fancier with your color, if you want a little bit more quality paper, I would vote for the Spectrum Noir. The XPress It is just not for me. You can definitely give it a try. Maybe if you're more light-handed, to see if it works well for you, but this is not going to be top, especially for the cost of it, the number of sheets of it, and the lightness of it. It just isn't doing it for me. So I would vote for one of these two, which is the Accent Opaque Digital or the Spectrum Noir Alcohol Marker Paper. So, hope you guys liked this review. I do have 3 more papers that I had received that I'm going to also review to see what I think about them. And so, hope you guys stop by for that one as well. Have a great night, and I'll talk to everyone soon. Take care, guys. Bye.